Hey guys, are you trying to lose weight, maybe get a little bit healthier? One of the best things you can do is to cut sugar out of your diet. It is horrible for you. Not only does it lead to an increase in diseases, but it's also going to make it almost impossible for you to lose that weight. What happens is when you have something with what's called a high glycemic index, basically something that's absorbed fast in the body, aka simple carbs like sugars, your body's going to release an excessive amount of insulin. Now what insulin does is it basically allows you to put it into your cell so you can convert it into energy known as ATP later. So by cutting out that sugar, those simple carbs, you'll make an amazing difference in not only your health, but your ability to be able to lose that weight. The idea is that when you have too many simple carbs, aka sugar, your body can absorb it really fast. And it's going to release that insulin really fast so it cannot cool in the blood and cause a bunch of issues later. But because you have so much sugar in the blood, your body's going to also try to convert some of those carbs, aka sugar, into fat as well. But what's also worse is that insulin will actually block your fat release and can block it for up to 6 hours, meaning if you can't use that fat, there's no way you're going to be able to lose it. So by simply giving either a lower glycemic index or a slower absorption rate in sugar and carbs, you're going to be able to absorb it better, but you're also not going to be blocking that fat as bad. Other than nearly making it impossible for losing all that body fat, having that excess insulin build up in your body is really unhealthy. What it's going to do is it's going to start to make your body more intolerant to that insulin, which can lead to that type 2 diabetes. And that can also increase your chance of other diseases, including cardiovascular ones, such as heart attack, stroke, increased chance of neuropathy, as well as increased chances of certain cancers. So what do you do next? What are the best tips you can take out of this? Tip number 1. Avoid sugar like the plague. Cut out sugar you don't need in your life. You don't need this. It's not good for you. Not only is it full of chemicals that you do not want in your body, but again, those simple sugars, those simple carbs specifically, is what causes that hyperinsulemia. Tip number 2. The type of carb or sugar is very important. So I know you've always heard, don't eat bread if you're trying to lose weight, because again, that's a simple carb, especially if it's enriched, bleached, or has that added sugar to it. But it's the type of carbs. There's better versions. There's whole grains, whole wheats. But there's also better versions of sugar, right? Something with a lower glycemic index is better. So a great one, if you have to have that added sugar, like in your coffee or whatever else, is use something like maybe coconut sugar, because it has one of the lowest glycemic indexes of 35, meaning it takes a little bit of time for you to actually absorb it and put it into your body, not spiking that insulin. And that is where it really comes down to. Tip number 3. Don't drink your calories. Most drinks have high sugars in them, right? Stuff like high fructose corn syrup and stuff that is going to spike that insulin. Stick to water, tea, or coffee, and be careful of any additives that you put in those. And that'll help cut out an excessive amount of sugar that you really don't need from any kind of intake of your natural diet. And finally, tip number 4. Switch any carb-based foods that you can to something like maybe a protein. One of my favorite options that I like to do is switch pastas into protein pastas. Things like chickpeas and lentil bases, that's gonna make it a protein instead of a carb, because carbs are what use that insulin. So if you're using more proteins and healthier items instead, then you won't need as much insulin anyway to put those carbs into your cells. Hope you guys like those tips. Please follow along, hit that like, smash that subscribe button.